What happens if your own government is using more force and more coercion on its own citizens for the purpose of achieving its political ends? Is that government engaged in terrorism?
American people expect us to protect them and protect their civil liberties. I'm going to do that.
What is being sold to the American people today as Americanism, if you peel off the label, you find so much similarity to what we were fighting against, when we were fighting communism and Nazism and fascism.
The government's now putting a national ID card together.
We will be carrying our papers, and they have recommended there be checkpoints throughout the country. Some type of physical proof, such as fingerprints or retinal prints, have to be on it.
Desires of the people really have no consequence. They go out and they vote. Doesn't make any difference which candidate they elect.
This is absolutely Orwellian. I mean, it's talking about Big Brother looking over your shoulder at absolutely everything you do.
There is no constitutional basis for a tax on the wages of Americans living and working in the 50 states of the Union. Period. End of argument.
Americans just learned that the IRS was actually knowingly deceiving them. That would be enough for them to rise up and put a stop to it.
You caught me unprepared.
I'll come back.
No, I don't want to do that.
There had to be a law, right?
Where is the law? Show me the law.
Why is the Supreme Court decision a silly argument?
And I think we're finished.
They think it's the law, and they have all the guns. You know, it's an authoritarian approach.
Now we can see a new world coming into view. A world in which there is the very real prospect of a new world order.
The latest technology for identifying people when they make purchases is actually the implantable chip that you can actually embed directly into human flesh.
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? You will rule on that, mark my words.
A chip in everybody would be the universal monetary system par excellence, because there'd be no escape from it.
Americans have been taught to expect their salvation from government instead of recognizing government as the most dangerous threat they'll face in their lives.
It is the greatest hoax ever perpetrated by government against the working men and women of America.
It's organized crime. All you do is you call the Republicans the Genoveses, and you call the Democrats the Gambinos.
Hello, my name is Stephen Vasquez, and I am the New York State Coordinator for Campaign for Liberty. On today's show, we interviewed Catherine Albrecht. Catherine is a best-selling author of Spy Chips, How Major Corporations and Government Plan to Track Your Every Move with RFID. Catherine has a doctorate from Harvard University, and she is the host of the daily syndicated show, Dr. Catherine Albrecht, which can be heard on GCN.
Well, the best way to understand RFID is to understand what the acronym stands for. The RF part stands for radio frequency. The ID part stands for identification. And that's because they're tiny microchips with silicon wafers containing information that are hooked up to miniature antennas that use radio waves to transmit. So what that means is that if you have one of these tiny devices, microchip Bluetooth antenna combination, you can put those in literally anything. You can embed them in a plastic card with an ID card, you can put them in a passport, you can embed them into somebody's shoes. There literally is a company that is marketing RFID tags embedded in people's shoes that they would not use there. You can sandwich them between the layers of cardboard. They can go into virtually anything. And once you've got the RFID tag inside of an item, it lies dormant until it's stimulated by radio energy from the environment. So, for example, if you walk through a doorway, if the doorway is equipped with an RFID portal or RFID reader, it kind of bombards you head to toe with this energy. And if you're carrying something or wearing something that contains an RFID tag, that energy is picked up by the antenna, stimulates the chip, wakes it up, gives it just enough power to transmit its unique information. And in the case of most RFID tags, the information is a unique serial number. And the long-term plan for this is to create something called an Internet of Things, where literally every object on Earth, and when I say every object, they are envisioning every sewing needle, every jumbo jet, every pair of shoes, every Bible, literally every object on Earth containing one of these tags. The Internet of Things would be a way to track, monitor, and keep tabs on where everything is.
So what you want to do, babe? Come again.
think there's really three different areas of concern for people who are worried about the privacy impact of having someone scan them through these tags. One of them is the use of RFID tags in products, which we talk about extensively in our book, Spy Chips. The idea there is to put them into, you can weave them into clothing labels, you can put them into the seams of fabric, you can put them into shoes. There is ultimately a plan to use them to replace the barcode, and that's how you wind up with literally every object containing one. Once that happens, you can not only be tracked for the things that you buy, you wear, or you carry, but as you walk through the doorway, now an inventory of everything that you're in. And because RFID tags, RFID energy, radio frequency energy, travels through the things we normally rely on to protect our privacy, plastic or fabric or leather, it means that someone would be able to inventory the contents of your backpack, the contents of a woman's purse, everything in your pockets, other than the size and color of your underwear. So that's sort of the first risk, is tagging products. The second risk is tagging people, and that breaks down into two different ways that the RFID industry is looking to do that. One of them is through things that you would carry mandated by law, such as a driver's license, a passport. In some countries, they're actually mandating the use of RFID tagged identity documents that people have to carry. Like China. China was the biggest RFID market in the globe last year, ordering over 1 billion RFID chips to place in pockets, wallets, backpacks, and purses of Chinese citizens, so that their communist government can simply point to little places and walking down the street and identify that individual. In China, it's actually quite chilling when you look at what they're doing. They've actually linked up those RFID chips in the ID cards with information that ranges from someone's employment background, their educational history, their reproductive history, even their landlord's name and phone number. And China right now is experimenting with these surveillance cities. It's begun with the city of Shenzhen, China, where they've literally rigged the entire city with all sorts of surveillance devices, everything from video cameras, surveillance cameras, hidden cameras, all the way down to RFID readers positioned in strategic locations so they can track people. So that's sort of the direction that we're moving, is using this literally and very specifically to track people. And then your third way, the third concern, also has to do with tracking people, and that's the RFID implants. There's actually an implantable version, has the tiny microchip, has the antenna, in this case the antenna is foil wrapped around the microchip, encapsulated in a capsule of medical grade glass, and that is injectable. To date. That device goes into, typically they're putting it somewhere between the elbow and the shoulder, but the more obvious place would be the hands, because you don't want to press it against your shoulder and transmit that data more directly and easily. And those microchips are problematic for a number of reasons, not the least of which is that we've discovered that they cause cancer in between 1 and 10% of laboratory animals that they're injected into. Well, the Real ID program, I think for anyone who cares about liberty and is concerned about intrusive Big Brother government, is really the idea is for every American citizen to carry a driver's license that would be controlled not by their individual state and individual department, but real licenses that is today, but would actually be controlled by Homeland Security. So what we're in essence talking about is a national ID card, very similar to what's being done in most countries like Jamaica. The Department of Homeland Security taking control of driver's licenses means that we would have a federal database containing enormous amounts of information about individuals, and that information is not only subject to Big Brother abuse but it's also subject to abuse by hackers and criminals, because we have low-hanging fruit of a database of all of the information on American citizens in a single location. All it takes is for one hacker to write one huge or score from somebody for all of that information. And at that point, they don't just have information from motorists in the state of Utah or the state of Alabama, but at that point, they have information One of the big concerns now is you've got all of the border states being contacted by and co-opted by the Department of Homeland Security, and the State Department to begin offering RFID tagged driver's licenses. Now, when we first stumbled across RFID back in 2001 and 2002, we were told repeatedly by the industry that because this was tracking technology, that it would never be used to very specifically. It was inappropriate to put it into identity documents. It would never be used on paper because the technology was developed specifically to track and trace products and items of devices. This tag that they're putting into driver's licenses in the states of Washington and New York, and then shortly in the states of Michigan and Vermont, and also Arizona, this tag can be read right through your pocket, right through your wallet or your backpack, from 20 to 30 feet away, silently, invisibly, without your knowledge. You would have no way of knowing when and if it was being scanned. And we know, based on the information that we found, there is a definite interest in doing that. When IBM discussed tracking people in public locations, they talked about doing it for marketing purposes, first of all, so they could tell how long you linger in front of certain sections of the store. And also they talked about doing it to track suspicious persons and handing over the infrastructure to the government. And I don't know about you, Stephen, but it seems to me like ever since September 11, that the government's definition of suspicious person has expanded to the point where it now includes law-abiding American citizens, every single one of them. They came up with it, they patented it, and that's what they called it. Now, their person tracking unit is a reader device, or a series, or actually an entire planet full of reader devices that would pick up the signals, or stimulate and pick up the signals based on RFID tags carried by people in order to identify them and track them. Now, IBM talks about placing these types of readers, which can go into doorways, they can go under floor tiles, they can go into ceiling tiles, shelving, walls, furniture, anywhere you go. They talk about using these to identify and track people in so many locations that it blows them away. They talk about doing this in theaters, in sports arenas, in shopping malls, in theaters, in libraries, in elevators, and even public restrooms. So that literally everywhere you go into the public restroom, there could be a reader device behind the tile of the stall that would be monitoring and tracking you if, and here's the if they can find a way to get you to carry an RFID tag. So and IBM, by the way, which patented that, just won the contract to do the national ID cards for England. So they're very much involved in national ID cards. They're very much involved in RFID. They've been one of the key companies promoting this technology from its inception. Analytics, technical documents, confidential documents, promotional documents, you name it. And what emerged from that huge sifting process of looking through all of the future plans that the major corporations and governments of the world have for RFID is they very much intend a world in which your every move is tracked. Now,